The wind howled through the desolate streets as I approached the old, decrepit house at the end of the lane. It was a place people spoke of only in hushed tones, a place where the brave never ventured. The moon cast an eerie glow upon the decaying structure, revealing its ominous secrets. My name is James, and I was a skeptic when it came to the supernatural. Ghost stories were nothing more than tales told around campfires, designed to send shivers down spines. But that all changed when I met her, the ghost wife. It began on a cold, moonless night. I had been out late, drowning my sorrows in a local tavern. My life had fallen apart in recent months. My wife had left me for another man, and I had lost my job. I stumbled home, drunk and despondent, not caring about anything anymore. As I approached my front door, I noticed a faint light emanating from the window. My heart pounded as I pushed open the creaking door, fully expecting to find a burglar inside. But what I saw was far more terrifying. There, in the dimly lit living room, stood a woman. She was ethereal, her form barely visible in the darkness. Long, ebony hair cascaded down her back, and she wore a tattered white wedding gown that seemed to glow with an otherworldly light. Her face was pale, her eyes empty voids. I froze, unable to move or speak as I stared at the apparition before me. She turned to face me, and a mournful smile crossed her lips. "James," she whispered, her voice like a gentle breeze. "I've been waiting for you." I stumbled backward, my heart racing. "Who are you?" I stammered. "I am Evelyn," she replied, her voice filled with sorrow. "Your wife." My mind reeled. Evelyn, my wife, had been dead for 5 years. She had passed away in a car accident, leaving me broken and alone. I had buried her, said my final goodbyes, and moved on, or so I thought. "You can't be Evelyn," I said, my voice trembling. "Evelyn is dead." She took a step closer, and I could see her more clearly now. Her eyes were pools of darkness, and her skin was ashen, like that of a corpse. "I died, James," she whispered, "but I couldn't leave you. I couldn't bear to see you suffer." Tears welled up in my eyes as I reached out to touch her, but my hand passed right through her form. "This can't be real," I muttered to myself. Evelyn nodded sadly. "I know it's hard to believe, but I am real. I've been watching over you, trying to protect you." I shook my head in disbelief. "Protect me from what?" "From yourself," she said, her voice filled with anguish. "You've been spiraling since I died. Drinking, losing your job, pushing everyone away. I couldn't bear to see you destroy yourself." I sank to my knees, overwhelmed by a mix of emotions. "But what can you do? You're a ghost." Evelyn's form flickered, and for a moment I could see the despair in her eyes. "I can't change the past, James, but I can try to make amends." Over the following weeks, Evelyn's presence became a constant in my life. She would appear to me often at night, and we would talk for hours. She told me about her time in the afterlife, about the pain of being separated from me. She became my confidant, my only friend in a world that had turned its back on me. But as the days passed, I began to notice a change in Evelyn. She seemed to grow weaker, her glow dimming. "I don't have much time left," she admitted one night. "I can't stay here forever." I was consumed by grief and guilt. "Is there anything I can do to help you?" Evelyn nodded, her form fading even more. "There is one thing. I need closure, James. I need you to forgive yourself for my death." I was taken aback. "But it was my fault," I whispered. "I should have been driving that night." Evelyn shook her head. "It was an accident, James. You can't blame yourself forever. You deserve to live a happy life." Tears streamed down my face as I realized the truth in her words. I had been living in a self-imposed prison of guilt and grief, and it was destroying me. I needed to let go, to move on. Evelyn's form grew fainter with each passing day, but her presence in my life remained a source of comfort and strength. And in time, I began to heal. I found a new job, made new friends, and even started to date again. I knew that Evelyn's time with me was coming to an end, but I was no longer afraid. One night, as I lay in bed, I felt her presence beside me for the last time. She was barely visible now, a faint shimmer in the darkness. "Thank you, James," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "I love you." And then she was gone, leaving behind only the memory of her and the knowledge that I had finally found peace. The years have passed and I have moved on with my life. I still think of Evelyn, my ghost wife from time to time. I no longer fear the supernatural. Instead, I embrace the belief that love can transcend death. And in the darkest moments of the night, when the wind howls through the empty streets, I sometimes catch a glimpse of her ethereal form, watching over me, protecting me, and reminding me that true love never truly dies.